The world of mixed martial arts is one of extreme pressure. These are the stories of UFC fighters whose lives took a tragic turns. First, Evan Turner, a trailblazer of early UFC. Turner was the UFC middleweight champion in 2005, defeating David Terrell in the legendary upset. A self-taught fighter with 15 submission wins, he embodied resilience, even funding his own training camps through odd jobs. In 2008, Turner embarked on a solo camping trip in California's desert. His motorcycle broke down, leaving him stranded in 110 Fahrenheit. After days of searching, authorities found his body. His motorcycle had run out of fuel and he was miles from the nearest road. At just 37 years of age, the MMA community mourned him as one of the most loved athletes in the sport. John Jones, arguably the greatest UFC talent ever. At 23, he became the youngest championship in history, defeating Shogun Rua and dominating UFC legends like Daniel Cormier, Lyoto Machida, Alexander Gustafsson, and Rashad Evans across 14 title defenses. In 2015, John fled the scene after running a red light and crashing on a pregnant woman's car. Police found marijuana and documents in his abandoned rental car. He turned himself in, pleaded guilty to felony hit and run. This incident led to his title being stripped and he faced a major suspension. While he returned to fighting, the incident remains a dark chapter in his fighting career. Abel Killer Trujillo was a UFC lightweight known for his explosive knockouts, with wins over Jamie Varner, Marcus Lavenza in December 2012, and a fight of the night against Tony Ferguson. His 15-8 record showcases his ferocious striking and dominance. In July 2019, former UFC fighter Abel Killer Trujillo was arrested and charged in Colorado with felony sexual exploitation of a child and obscenity. In March 2020, he took a plea agreement and pled guilty to a reduced misdemeanor charge and promoting obscenity, and received 2 years of prohibition. This tragedy has forever altered his public identity and life. Trujillo had already been released from the UFC before his arrest, fighting on smaller regional shows. The details of the federal case are a matter of a public record and they are deeply disturbing. Jordan Pretty Boy Parsons was a Bellator featherweight rising star. His dynamic style earned him viral knockouts and a reputation as a future UFC contender. In 2016, Parsons was struck by a hit-and-run driver while walking in Florida. He suffered traumatic brain injuries and had his leg amputated before passing days after at later 25. The driver, Dennis Wright, received a 14-year sentence. Jordan Parsons' death sparked conversations about the fighter's safety beyond the cage. War Machine. He was born as John Copenhaver before changing his name to War Machine. He fought in the UFC and Bellator MMA, best known for his TUF appearance and a bloody win over Jared Rollins. His aggressive style mirrored his turbulent persona. In 2014, War Machine brutally assaulted his ex-girlfriend, other film star Chrissy Mark, leaving her with 18 broken bones and a fractured skull and missing teeth. He was convicted of 29 charges, including attempted murder, and sentenced to life in prison. A horrific case of domestic violence that ended his career in fighting. Tim Hugh was a UFC heavyweight who defeated Fred Perry in 2009. Though his UFC run was brief, he became a beloved figure in Canadian MMA, fighting for over a decade with a record of 21 wins and 13 losses. After retiring, Hugh took a boxing match in 2017. He suffered multiple knockdowns before the final KO that left him brain dead. He passed 2 days later after the fight. Fred Perry was a fan favorite UFC heavyweight with knockout power, while Rose Namajunas is a 2-time UFC strawweight champion who dethroned Joanna Jędrzejczyk at UFC 217. Both had amazing careers in the sport. Their relationship drew attention because there is a 14-year age difference between them, and Fat Barry was already coaching Rose Namajunas when she was 17. Some people questioned whether the relationship created an unfair balance of power because of the coach-athlete dynamic. But both Rose and Fat have denied any wrongdoing. Their relationship became a topic of public discussion and a concern, especially because mixing a coaching role with a romantic relationship can be seen as complicated and controversial. They later got married. Greg Hardy was a Pro Bowl defensive end for the Carolina Panthers in the NFL. His athletic power translated to the Octagon, where he secured several knockout victories. In 2014, while Greg Hardy was still an NFL star, his career became overshadowed by a highly publicized domestic violence case involving his ex-girlfriend, Nicole Holder. Holder accused Hardy of assaulting her during an argument at his home. According to court testimony and legal documents, she alleged that he threw her onto a couch covered with firearms, dragged her, strangled her, and threatened to kill her. She also reported visible injuries afterwards. Hardy denied the allegations and argued that Holder had been the aggressor. In July 2014, a judge found Hardy guilty of assault and communicating threats in a bench trial. He later appeared in the ruling, which would have led to a new jury trial. However, before the trial could happen, the case was dismissed after Holder did not appear in court, and reports indicated that a civil statement had been reached between the two sides. Even though the criminal case ended without a final jury verdict, the controversy followed Hardy throughout his later career, which is the UFC. Cain Velasquez is a UFC legend, a two-time heavyweight champion who dismantled the Beast Brock Lesnar and Junior Dos Santos to win the heavyweight championship. His wrestling dominance and cardio redefined the division. In 2022, Cain Velasquez became involved in one of the most shocking incidents in MMA. Authorities said Velasquez chased a vehicle carrying Harry Gulate, who was accused of molesting his 4-year-old son at a daycare. After Gulate had been released from custody during an 11-mile high-speed pursuit, Velasquez allegedly rammed the vehicle and fired multiple shots at it. But instead of hitting Gulate, one of the bullets struck Gulate's stepfather, causing non-life-threatening injuries. Velasquez was originally facing multiple serious charges, including attempted murder. In 2014, he pleaded no contest, and in 2025, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison, with credit for time already served. These stories remind us that fighters face battles far beyond the octagon: addiction, violence, loss, and trauma. While we celebrate their athletic feats, we must also acknowledge their humanity. Not every wound is visible, and not every fight has a winner.